To episode 42 of Cold Beers and Curveballs, where we're going to be discussing the Phillies Phanatics as he fucks a fan's face up earlier on this week. Also, thanks to all the new listeners that are on Overcast. This is Chase Almy and Corey Stevens, and we can find us on Instagram at Cold Beers and Curveballs, Facebook at Cold Beers and Curveballs, and on Twitter, CB and CB Podcast. But as always, we're going to fucking do it live. Hello, and welcome. As I was saying earlier, I was too jazzed to let it go any longer, but welcome to episode 42. I'm Chase Almy.
Yo, I'm Corey Stevens.
And this is the Phillies Phanatics, Phucks Fan's Face. That is this episode.
Episode 42, welcome.
And if you look at the thing on your title, it's all spelt with PHs because we were feeling really Philadelphia.
Really Philadelphia.
So we are back. Corey decided to go off and sneak off to P&W, which I believe is penis not for work or something like that. I'm not for sure. Or Pacific Northwest, depending on what it is. How was it, Corey?
It was good. You know what? It was not 90 degrees. It was lovely. There was even times when we were cold. Scenery was incredible. Food was great. Beer was great.
Bears? Were there bears?
You know, we talked a lot about bears, but we did not get to see any real life bears.
Any salmon fishing?
No, we didn't. We weren't. I don't think it's the time for the salmon runs in the rivers. I don't think we were in the right rivers.
Oh,
yeah.
But you did go to Baseballism.
Yes, we did run into the Baseballism in Portland. It was a cool looking store right next to a brewery, right in a cool little place. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Deep Ellum.
Awesome. Yeah. No.
Good place.
It's cool, and they're on Instagram too, and they have a game they play called Play Dinger, which involves a baseball bat, ping pong paddle, and ping pong balls. So
that doesn't sound like baseball to me,
dude. It's a very weird sport.
I think they need to stick to baseball.
It looks fun. Like, so basically you have to serve the ball with the ping pong.
Stick to baseball.
Right. I think me and Corey are actually going to start a stickball league here pretty soon.
You know what's a good sport?
What?
Ping pong. You know what's a good sport? Baseball. Don't mix the two.
It's like on that episode of Brock Myers.
I'm done with this.
When Brock Myers
Let's get into
hey,
the Phillies.
You know, Dave died from a meth fire. He's like, I told Dave, you can cook meth as a hobby and you can siphon gas, but you can't do them both.
Can't do them both.
So, no, but yes, the Phillies Phanatic. Go ahead, kick us off with it.
Oh, I don't know what happened, Chase. Maybe a
flying
maybe a projectile at the ballpark.
The fuck out of a woman at the ballpark.
Hit her in the face. No, what's her quote? It came in so fast and hard.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere and hard.
This little old lady in Philadelphia.
Did you ever see how old she was?
No, but I mean, you look at her face. The
picture looks like she's like in her 50s.
And you look at her,
60s.
You look at her face, and you look at her day, but you know that.
Is it Kathy McVeigh?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yes.
I don't know if she's any relation to Sean McVeigh or Timothy McVeigh. Yeah, Timothy McVeigh or Sean McVeigh. Those are the only two McVeighs I know.
Right. Well, there are more people with that unfortunate last name.
Right. You know who you don't hear a lot of last names anymore? Hitler. Weird how that did happen.
Weird how Kathy McVeigh, yeah. Of Plymouth Meeting. I don't know of a more Easter day that you could possibly...
Plymouth Meeting?
Apparently that's the town she lives in. Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that sounds made up. I've watched every episode of Amish Mafia, and I've never heard of that.
Trying to have a good time at a Phillies game.
Probably got free tickets from a doctor's office.
Yeah, she probably did get some free tickets for next time.
Right.
A hot dog comes out of nowhere. It's wrapped in like tinfoil or duct tape or whatever. She can't... hit it away.
She can't handle how it's coming out of nowhere.
Hit it away because, like, she doesn't want to mess up her shoulder. She's going to have surgery or something.
Good Lord Almighty.
And so she just has to take it.
That Phanatic is a fucking dick, though. Like, you see him doing shit all the time. Like,
well, that's his tick, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big bubbling idiot.
My thing is did she get to keep the hot dog, or did somebody, like, pick it up and, like, take off?
This is evidence.
Yeah,
Somebody
like,
probably ran
they
off with
ate it like...
Nobody wants to eat that thing. It just probably...
Dude, hot dogs are
probably
$4 to $5 at a ball game now. I'm eating a hot dog coming out of a shot.
It probably deformed and
Nah, they get...
and crushed, and I don't know.
I just want to know how fast that thing's coming out.
I would say probably 30, 40 miles
Anyway,
an hour.
I mean, Kathy McVeigh, we hope you get better.
We don't really care.
She has a
about
bruised
you.
face and a hematoma in her left eye.
Yeah, it's kind of like when LeBron got smacked and he got a little red eye.
But
whatever.
no concussion, so she doesn't have to go on the protocol. But yes, that was pretty much the action there. And I guess to stay on to the Phillies,
Yeah, let's stay with the
kind of
Phillies.
brings it down. So they are tied for second right now in the NL East with Washington.
Some miracle, guy.
Right. So if the season was to end today, there would be a one-game playoff to see
with Washington and Philly.
with Washington and Philadelphia.
Well, what that means is that they both suck. So
no, that doesn't mean.
no.
That
What it really means is, look, Washington is gonna end up ahead of Philly.
Man, I don't know. The Phillies have a thing going on. Here's the only issue that the Phillies do have.
They don't have a third baseman now, right?
Their third baseman broke his hand and looks to be out for 6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, it all maybe if they feel like they've got some special thing going on this year that they can make the playoffs and everyone will feel great about them, and next year is going to be their year.
Well,
then they should go for Beltre, I guess.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
That is the story. Is earlier this season, well, before the season started, and a little ways into the season, talks were that they were going to try to pick up Manny Machado, who's on his last year with the Baltimore Orioles. Well, their two backups over on the left side of the infield, they're posting minus 700 OPSs right now. Not a good thing to have when you're trying to make a run for it.
That's not possible.
Well, no, they're not minus 700. Their OPSs are below 700.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So that is something to look at. So they would want to add a veteran third baseman.
Yeah.
And in their last year of their contract is Adrian Beltre, which, if they're sitting second in the NL East, could get into a wild card spot. With the up and down season, I mean, it's been more ups than it has been downs for Atlanta. That could raise the question on what about Beltre?
Yeah.
They signed Arrieta. Arrieta's showing he's the Arrieta of yesteryear. He's got he's
pretty good.
He's got his game going on. I think it's honestly the powder blues and the maroon hats.
You think that's what inspires
I think
them?
that's what it is. They've got that going, and I think it's one of those deals where Beltre really could make a move to Philly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, the thing is, there's not a ton of market at third base. Like, that was the whole thing in free agency. There was, we talked about the lack of a market for Moose. But it was, people were satisfied with their third basemen. There's not a ton of market for a Beltre right now. So an injury, might be something that opens it all up.
Right. I know there for a minute, though, they thought L.A. maybe might be something, but,
right.
L.A. seasons.
Well, look, it looks like that entire division is hanging around 500, so they can still make the playoffs.
It is a very competitive, non-competitive division. 7.5 games separates first and last.
And just
Everybody's hanging around 500.
4.5 to fourth place, but
right.
I mean, yeah, nobody's separating themselves. I think the Diamondbacks are number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
and they're
2-game
not
lead over L.A. right
and
now.
and LA is basically 500. So there's not a lot going on in that division. But yeah, I think the problem is the Rangers fans are not going to be real happy with the return for Beltre. I mean, he's not some coveted guy on a trade.
But the Phillies have a beast of a farm system.
That's great.
Even their
we gave them some of it.
Right. Even some of their lower prospects are better than some of our higher prospects.
That might be true. Yeah. It's just like, teams are not clamoring for Beltre.
No.
He's old. He's got injury history. It's not like he's having some career year this year. It does. He's not the typical piece that puts you over the top.
Trade deadline in July. If he gives them 2.5 months of Adrian
Plus we're
Beltre.
talking about the injury is 6 to 8 weeks on June 20th.
Yeah.
So we're talking August 10th, and he'll be back.
Right.
It's not. You would have to be an early trade to get any value out of that.
Right.
Anyway,
Well,
we'll see if Beltre gets anything, or
Exactly.
if he's even traded. Like,
a couple of more injury news things. It looks like Clayton Kershaw may be coming back for a rehab start. If it happens to be in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, you may see Corey or I in Oklahoma City and Tulsa just to kind of check that shit out. It'd be kind of
that'd
cool.
be fun.
I missed all of Elvis Andrews' rehab starts here in
Yeah,
Frisco.
if you want to talk injury news, Elvis is back.
Yeah,
we
Elvis
got
is back.
Beltre's back. Elvis is back. Odor's back. The lineup is the way it was supposed to be on game
And
one.
it still looks like a AAA ball club.
Yeah, we're not that great.
Nope. But no, that and also looks like Sam Dyson getting a chance to bring back that 18 ERA and 4 blown saves out of 3 games. I don't know how you do that, but still, when we typed in Dyson, it auto-corrected to dysentery.
As it should.
Yes, and it looks like he's going to be getting a chance to pitch for the San Francisco Giants as the primary closer because Hunter Strickland?
Yes, Hunter Strickland.
6 to 8 weeks after punching a wall after having a bad start. Guys, follow the beard. Brian Wilson would always take a bat to a water cooler if he had a bad time. And you know what he never did?
He never broke his hand.
He never missed a start because he broke his hand. He missed a start because he sucked.
Yeah.
And he missed a start because he had Tommy John because God just was like, hey, I don't like your elbow ligament.
like your elbow.
And I'm going to take it away from you 3 times. But,
Right.
He never missed it because he punched a wall. He never missed it because of something stupid. So, Hunter Strickland out 6 to 8 weeks. Bruce Bochy going to more like Bruce Botch the fucking season by having Sam Dyson be your closer.
Yeah, that's a good way to fall out of the race.
Yeah, you're 4 games back already in the NL West.
Yeah, but you're in it.
You're not in it to win it with Sam Dyson, guys.
No. Have we watched film on this guy? Did he take some magic potion?
That's why the coffee wasn't sweet there.
Why didn't you stir your sugar, Ed?
I did.
Idiot. No, yeah, San Francisco needs to get their head on straight. All right, what else we got? That's the NL West for you. NL Central's looking like a good race.
NL Central, if you love Milwaukee and if you love Chicago,
Why would
you will
anybody
be happy
love
every
that?
other day.
Why would people love that? They're just cold and dying cities.
Cheese, Bob Uecker. That's what I like about Minnesota.
Here's the problem. Wait, no one said Minnesota.
Nobody said Minnesota. Where is Milwaukee? Wisconsin.
You
Wisconsin.
idiot. Chase passed 4th grade geography with flying colors.
I did, man.
Where is Milwaukee?
I can tell you the capitals of every state. I can't tell you the cities that are in there.
You know what the capital of Washington is? Not Seattle.
That one is Olympia.
Oh, good job. All right, we're done with our little trivia.
There you go.
I'm excited about Eric Thames shaving his beard. He looks like a new man.
Yeah, it definitely did look like a 8th grade pubic mound sitting there on top of his chin. It wasn't a good beard. Didn't have the good beard hair.
Folks, that's all for the NL Central.
Wait, we're not talking about Luke Heimlich? Oh, I am so sorry, guys.
Oh, gosh. Also, he's actually still doing good with Oregon State.
Yeah, he pitched lights out yesterday.
Oregon State might win on the back of this guy, and he's not even going to get
Eddie
drafted.
Petty over here going to fucking win it for the Beavers.
Right?
He's over here like, is that Beaver
could.
Beaver underage? Because,
gosh.
whoa.
Let's not go there. All right.
So sorry, Overcast guys.
Hey, no, they know what they're signing up for.
Yeah, you guys definitely do. I put explicit content on every one of our things. Even my worship album was explicit content.
Let's go get over to the AL. AL East is perhaps the best and simultaneously the worst division race. There's 16 games.
Between second and third?
Or
first and third?
First and third. Toronto, or the Orioles, and who else am I thinking? The Rays.
Yeah.
Are so far down. They, they're playing AAA ball over there. And then the Red Sox and the Yankees are two of the best teams in all of baseball.
And it makes it so fucking great because it's the Red Sox and
It
Yankees
is
rivalry.
the Red Sox and Yankees, and they are doing great, just as we've been talking about before. It's going to be a good race for the whole entire rest of the season. Yankees last night, Giancarlo Stanton, we got a comeback and we got a walk-off home run. He looks to be getting his shit together. Red Sox, have a stacked team. They're performing well. So
here's my only problem that I have right now with the Yankees is that Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton haven't come out guns a-blazing, home runs. I talked about with Jessica Kleinschmidt on that episode, how fucking awesome would it be to have a home run race to 70 on a team.
Right.
Where your third and fourth batters are duking it out every fucking day.
No, I think they're racing to 45.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be that great. But no, they are able to keep that up. I think talking about how bad that division is looking, have you seen the last names that happen to be tied to the Toronto Blue Jays?
Who's that?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Oh, yes.
There's also one by the last name of Biggio.
And Bichette. Don't they have a Bichette's little kid?
They've got some pedigree going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, when it shows up, it'll be good. I think all we have to do is get rid of Gibbons. Get rid of everything else that makes people fucking hate Toronto.
Right. Probably the
get rid of Drake. Get rid of fucking
Bieber.
What is it? Donaldson.
Donaldson.
Get rid of him. The guy that carries the bird. That Edwin, is he still there? Fucking
guy who carries the bird.
Yeah, he runs the home run with his arm
with the little blue jay on him or something.
Yeah, he's got carrying a fucking black pirate or something. I don't know.
Pirates don't carry around.
No,
blue
but
jays.
I mean the Rays had an opportunity to win a game the other night.
Oh yeah,
and they didn't.
You
want to know why they didn't?
What'd they do?
Because the team that they played, they only know how to do one thing.
Yeah.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there.
So that is what happens, is they had a lead going into later half of the game with the Houston Astros.
Right.
And all the Houston Astros know how to do right now is win, and they came back and won.
The Rays did win a game.
They did, but they were up, and they had a nice little lead, and the Astros came back. The Astros had, a 12-game winning streak?
Mm-hmm.
12 games. I mean, the AL West is kind of an interesting one to watch because you've got such a powerhouse as the Astros. I know Evan Gattis in 2 games, I believe, had 10 RBIs. I mean, he's just crushing it. They don't have any questions anymore about their DH spot. Evan Gattis comes in, big burly beard from Forney fucking Texas, no batting gloves, has the typical 8th grade baseball stance that one would see, one still learning how to play baseball, and says, fuck A&M, I'm going to go smoke weed on the side of a mountain, goes and plays Mexican League, Independent League, gets up here to the Astros, and is fucking killing it. All day.
He's killing it.
They call him the Blanco Oso. That was what his nickname was, the White Bear. That's what they all called him down in the Dominican and the Mexican leagues.
He is a bear.
He's just a
bear.
fucking giant. I mean, the dude just is he's that kind of guy that just walks in and has the swagger, but you don't really realize it.
Right. Well,
wears no undershirt, got that shit opened up.
Let's give some credit to the Mariners for sticking around.
Dude, the Mariners are sticking around.
Astros are, winning something like 13 out of 14, and the Mariners are only 3 games back.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive.
They're 21 games above 500? First time
since 2003.
Right? And I feel like we need to talk to a relief pitcher by the name of Ryan Cook. If Crystal Kruzik or Kruziak, I can never pronounce her last name, and I feel so horrible about it. If she would ever give me a call.
How many people care that you can't pronounce her last name?
Probably Crystal.
0.
Maybe Crystal. Who knows? She was up there actually this past week for the homestand, and she didn't even try the grasshoppers. I was really let down.
That is if you're there, you got to try them.
You got to try the grasshopper. She's just like, I don't think I can do it. And I'm like, well, stop thinking and just do it.
Just do it.
You're up there. You're 80 miles from Nike headquarters. Just do it. Did you go check out Nike while you were up there?
There were some nice stores, some nice Nike stores.
Right.
There were some Nike bikes. They're sponsoring a bike share
Did you buy
thing
any pair? Did you happen to buy a pair of Nike
in Portland?
shoes?
No.
Well, I mean, I guess you do what you do.
Yeah, what we did was not seek out a Nike store.
And it apparently got really chilly while they camped out in Mount Rainier.
Yeah, we may have. Yeah.
We may have what? What did you do? What did you do, Corey? Corey, lay it down.
It's not good for a podcast.
Oh man,
No,
is it good for like those 10:30 Cinemax shows?
No, it's not for that either.
Is the Lloyd Stevens listening live?
No, it has more to do with what you mentioned on the Evan Gaddis going to the mountainside. But
the
anyway,
bear?
No, he's
Gay sex.
no. We're just gonna abort.
But no, the Mariners. I will say, I am very happy on how the Mariners are hanging around.
Are you happy about that?
Dude,
Why do you care about the Mariners hanging around?
Well, I mean, I went with them as a third tattoo. They're my elbow tattoo, not only because
you're living in the past,
dude. I was a '90s child.
Back when you were 10
Ken
years
Griffey
old,
Jr., Edgar and
back
Tino
when
Martinez.
You were 8 years old.
I know, but they've been a team that every year,
every year they're disappointing, and I'm disappointed that they're not following the normal
because
recent Mariners
the Rangers
history.
Are 18 fucking games back.
No, it has nothing to do with that. The Mariners' recent history is that they look good on paper and they suck.
Right.
I would like them to continue
now
that because it's a
kind
joke.
It's the players that are showing up aren't the players that are supposed to be the ones that are on paper.
I mean, Haniger's good, but I mean, it's
they're overcoming losing their second baseman and their veteran leadership.
Yeah,
they're overcoming.
Well,
Felix Hernandez underwhelming performances over the past.
I don't know if we call it veteran
seasons.
leadership if he's a cheater.
Well, I mean, his dad was probably hanging around throwing batting practice because, I mean, I know everybody got their rocks off on that story one time. Now everybody in the home run derby has their dad throw.
Robinson Cano's dad.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And then, like, fucking Bryce Harper's like, my dad sucks at throwing batting practice, and I'm at the first round.
Oh, what we got at the top? Astros, then Seattle, and then the Angels. So
Angels
are
out
looking
what?
good. 10.
They're out 10 games?
10 games, yeah.
See, and that Ohtani thing.
No, yeah, that sucks.
UCL strain, they're going to reevaluate it in, 3 more weeks? They're doing everything they can to prolong, saying, we probably need you to have Tommy John surgery.
I mean, I guess it wasn't a surprise. Like, I mean, this is something that even in, like, spring training time, they were talking about, and people were like, guys, we already knew this, actually.
Right.
I don't know. He just throws too hard, maybe. Like, out of starters, he has the top 5 velocities.
Yeah.
Because he's the only starter hitting 100.
Right. I mean, Verlander's hit 100 a couple of times in some spots where it's needed.
Well,
and a lot of your starting pitchers outside of Bartolo Colon can do that. If Bartolo Colon had a range of motion that was more of like 5.
I think you could dial it up to 94.
Well, yeah, if he puts all that gut behind it, he's going to get it. I mean, he's going to throw. He used to be a fireballer.
Right.
I mean, but age and osteoporosis sets in, and boom, there you are.
It does. The stat came out, which, I mean, it's nothing new, just people have dug into it. For Mike Trout's entire career, he's never gone 3 straight games without being on base. He has always gotten either a hit or a walk.
Right. He's been a big topic this week.
Any sample of 3 games. Yeah, no, I mean, he's good.
His WAR this season is going to break Babe Ruth's record.
Quite possible a single
on
season.
Track.
Yeah. I mean, we still got a half season to go, but he could have the greatest season of all time. And
on one of the worst teams of all time.
Well, they're not one of the worst. We're not talking Orioles over here, but no, I mean it's a real waste. Like you're in a good division, you can't even win your division. You don't have enough help around them.
You have the King Griffey Jr. of this era. I mean, you've got guys like Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant who will take that away from a player like Mike Trout because he's not surrounded by the talent like Griffey had.
Yeah.
You know, Griffey had a team on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout's on the field, and that's it.
And he's trying to do everything.
Yeah. I mean,
you
can't pitch and play center field at the same time.
No, he does everything, even when he just, even when he doesn't get a hit, you get a walk. He's got an incredible eye. People are going to pitch around the corners to him, and he sees balls and strikes really well.
Great
he gets on with a walk. He'll steal a base. He'll stretch something from first to third. He can do it all, but the Angels can't. No, it's the ultimate team game. Baseball, you got way too many players for one person to make an impact. You can have Mike Trout, and you can still be 10 games back.
Right.
So,
well, and it looks like,
that's your problem there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they kind of look at this season as a wash and try to pick up some prospects, maybe trade things out. There's only been one trade to really talk about, and that was from the Royals to the Nationals, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good reliever for the Royals, and they got three prospects back from the Nationals.
Which, the Nationals are trying to do what they need to.
They need to move early so they can, lose Phillies.
Right.
As in, they got 3 games back from the Braves or something. They need to catch them.
Yeah, they're both, right now, Phillies and Washington are tied 3.5 games back.
Let's talk about the worst team in baseball for a second.
And it's surprisingly not your Texas Rangers.
Nah, not even close. We have the Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore Orioles.
The Baltimore Orioles have a team, even though they have one good player, Manny Machado, trying to right their ship. Their team WAR is negative. What that means, folks, is that you could cut every single Baltimore Oriole and replace them with the likes of Ryan Rua and just all your random, average Major League Baseball level players.
And probably top AAA players.
Yeah, but right. So the top AAA is not necessarily, they don't all necessarily perform at Major League replacement level, right? Right. That's your average. You just replace them with the average, they would be doing better. Their team sucks so bad. I think they have a little bit of pitching. It depends on if you look at Fangraphs or Baseball Reference, the equation, because some of them weigh the pitching differently, whether or not it's negative or at 0.1 positive or something.
Right.
The point is, Chris Davis, wow. He's having a historically bad season.
Maybe they should trade him back to the Rangers and see if they can't get the third life out of him.
They probably could. If they would eat all the contract, they could send him to the Rangers, and the Rangers would be like, sure, we'll try to revive you.
Right.
You can fit right in with Gallo and Odor. You can strike out all the time.
Exactly. You can be our Josh Hamilton 2.0.
No, we don't need no Chris Davis washed up. It's just
they may
exceptionally
actually
bad.
be able to be the only team in history to have nobody at the ballpark for 2 games.
Right.
And this one doesn't even have a race riot involved with it.
Nobody is going to the Baltimore Orioles games.
It's sadly becoming like what it was
shit
for the Rangers back in the late 90s, early 90s too, where you went to the ballpark to watch your favorite team, and it wasn't the Rangers.
I don't know if we're that bad, but
I mean, dude, there was times that we bought nosebleeds and we sat 2 rows off of home plate,
hanging out with the Yankees fans,
hanging out with George.
Right.
Me and Bush down there just watching it, talking about some Bud Light.
It's just an impressively bad. I don't think any team has ever had a negative WAR for the entire season. So we're halfway through that, and it's looking ugly. What do we got with some? Speaking of players who wouldn't be very good in the MLB, we got the College World Series.
The College World Series, and it's a fun one this year.
Yeah,
because,
it's a fun one if you like rain.
I believe.
Like rain.
Or it's Oregon State that has their 3, 4, and 5 hitter are all first-round picks for.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I believe it was the Oregon State.
Well, I know Florida's got that guy. Florida
Yeah.
had a couple good hitters.
Yeah,
maybe,
there's
but
a lot of good guys, and that's been the fun, interesting topic to listen to. I've been following the College World Series more than I've been following Major League Baseball right now. Mainly because I can start a game, go to lunch, go grab a couple of drinks, come back, and they still haven't done anything because of the fucking rain. So I can watch a whole game over a period of a day and still get everything I need to get done.
Yeah, it's kind of screwing with the schedule. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
But no, I believe it was Oregon State. They have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters were all in the top 35 picks
Yeah.
for overall 35 overall picks for the MLB draft. But it's they won last night against
They beat North Carolina.
North Carolina. It was a tied ball game, 6-all in the 7th inning.
Well, in the 6th, North Carolina was up 6-3.
Yeah. And then,
So then the
Oregon
8th
State
and then-
came up, tied up in the next inning, 6-6. They ended up winning, I believe it was
11-6, yeah.
11-6, yeah. So, I mean, they scored 5 runs there in the last 8th, 9th inning to kind of overtake them. But that was, that's one of the things that's being talked about now is college ball is really good for Major League Baseball because Aaron Judge was there a few years ago. Quite a few players, you get a few Mike Trouts and Bryce Harpers, but a lot of these players that are becoming superstars, 4-year university.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have always been against, no, let's get them into. I mean, we talked about
Not a
this last
single
time.
Ranger.
Right.
Like, some teams are clearly not searching for those college players.
Right.
And the
And
money.
I think the Rangers signed a kid from Pottsboro Middle School this past year. They're like, we're fucking even skipping high school. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them earlier.
No, I mean, if the money's there, you really got to want that college experience.
I think it
got
also
that-
depends on where you're gonna go.
I mean, even the 5th round money is like $1 million or something. We're talking like, I don't know, $500,000 signing bonus sounds
Yeah.
pretty damn good to an 18-year-old.
Right. But I mean, if you look at it, it's like, hey, do you want to go 19th round to, let's say, the Baltimore Orioles, or
if you're
do you want to
19th
go
round,
play?
yeah,
Do you want to go play Mississippi State?
Yeah. No, right. If you're not going to be, top 10 rounds,
Yeah.
you would go college.
Right.
Sure. But, I mean, it seemed to be like the Rangers were very confident that all their picks weren't going to go. Like, there was the whole commitment to TCU or whatever.
Right.
So you do kind of have to have a little relationship with them, talk to them, maybe pre-draft, tell them, really talk to them about how, they need to get in the minors. Start
Exactly.
now.
You got some time to persuade them. But no, so we've got
Let's do a little Rangers news. You got a little bit of Rangers left over.
Well, I
We
know,
got a
but I
few-
mean,
we got a
where
little time.
where
All
we at?
right.
We're at Arkansas. So
Yes, Arkansas. I have no reason to cheer for them except for today. If they can beat Texas Tech, I will be a happy man.
you got Arkansas and
got-
Texas Tech.
Florida.
Arkansas, and Texas Tech
Yes.
are all in the bracket too.
Yes.
So you've got one loss for Tech and Florida, no losses for Arkansas.
Right.
Arkansas has been blazing.
Dude,
Mississippi State coming in as an underdog, not even seeded,
Not-
0 losses.
0 losses.
And they'll be playing Oregon State
Right.
to see who goes to the finals on that.
Yeah.
Now-
they beat Oregon State one time and they're in the finals.
And is it Arkansas and Texas Tech tonight, or is it Florida and Tech? I want to say it's Florida and Tech.
You are probably
it's Florida.
right.
It's
Yeah.
Florida and Tech tonight at 7:00 on ESPNU.
Yeah.
So that's how much they valued that game. Arkansas was
Yeah.
able to knock off Roger Clemens' son, Cody Clemens, and the Texas Longhorns, and that's what's put them into the winners bracket. It's been a lot of fun to watch, though. The camaraderie that's on the field, just watching
I think
the-
you just like to say the word
watching-
camaraderie.
Just watching just the way that it's played differently. I mean, it's with any sport. It's like watching college football as opposed to pro football. Just the schemes and the way that they play, where you still have coaches calling pitches in the College World Series.
Seems weak sauce.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like they're developing more of the physical skill than the mental aspect of a catcher having to call a whole game.
If I've got a 4-year college catcher, I want him calling games if I'm drafting him.
Oh yeah,
So-
I mean, and I think that's one of those things that it's like Are they going to implement that more now that it's being seen that there's a lot of talent coming from 4-year schools? Calling games, I feel like, is a very minor league thing, very, very something you can learn on that level.
Yeah.
But
to finish up that little bit of trivia, the 5th round picks, the slot is 400,000.
400,000.
And down to 300,000 and stuff. So that's what people are getting signing bonus wise over 5th round. Rangers news last night was a fun one. Austin Bibbenserks went into the 7th inning. He's my favorite, my second favorite, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He was catching. He's looking good. Maybe they're going to use him more as a backup catcher. Because now we have Anderson Odor, and and we still got Guzman and Gallo at first, and we got Beltre at third. So Profar is your utility infielder,
right?
And you don't need everybody to be a utility infielder. So Falefa can be your backup catcher and utility.
Well, they had Jose Trevino up for a while.
Yeah. So, he really wasn't up for a while. He was up for about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, he was up for...
Trevino's been great in Double-A. I don't know if he's made it to AAA.
They optioned him down to Round Rock.
Yeah. So he got up for the weekend and ended up with a walk-off on Father's Day. Right. That was a sweet story because he is now a father and he lost his father recently.
Yeah, about a year ago.
So he, the post game interview was emotional and all, and he was real happy to have his moment. So and then our other guy that we brought up, since the Rangers, the whole point of the Rangers season is to play your young guys. Yohander Mendez has been a good pitcher in the minor leagues for the Rangers, and he got brought up. He had a start, and then did not get in trouble with the law. But he definitely got in trouble with Banny.
Yeah.
I think the Rangers locked down their locker room for several hours. They had a come to Jesus meeting. I don't know if he partied too hard. I don't know if he said something wrong. I think it would be, a little bit more than just saying something wrong. But I think he showed some immaturity. He got up to the majors, and now he's back in the minors.
Right.
The Rangers sent his ass down because of team behavior.
And this is something that the Rangers are known to do. They had
They're
Keona Kella.
They're going to run a tight ship.
Yeah. They had, Keona Kella was going to come in. It was going to be Keona Kella as a setup.
Right.
Matt Bush as a closer last year, and that was blown to shit about 3 days before the season started.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're going to keep their locker room in order, and, he can earn his way back.
Right.
So you mentioned the relievers, though. I think those are going to give us a few more weeks, and we're not going to have one of those. Diekman's been pitching great. Kella's been pitching great. Bush is good. The Rangers are going to send away a reliever for prospects. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
Diekman was closed out the game last night. He's been doing well. I know you love to shit on Odor and DeShields.
Not on them, just on their strikeouts.
Performance, right?
And
so, I know particularly I've argued with you about DeShields in the past. He has reached 13 straight games, and in the last 13 games, he is at an 850 OPS, 13 hits, 11 walks, 5 for 5 on the bases, 5 for 5 on steals. So DeShields is doing good. Shin-Soo Choo is doing good. Let's see, we got Delino, Diekman. We got since May 1st, Diekman 1.59 ERA. Pretty damn good. And then Odor, he's got 12 plate appearances per walk. He's getting his walk rate is up compared to last year, about double. So Odor's definitely getting better, and he even he had a hit the other day. He had a home run maybe last night or the other day. So Odor is showing a little sign of progress.
Right.
So that's desperately what he needed to do. Otherwise, the talk was, hey. We'll keep you as a backup and have Falefa as second baseman.
Keep your horse.
Keep your horse, and we're going to ship you out.
Right.
Speaking of the horse, though, the Rangers are doing a bobblehead giveaway, and it's Odor with his horse.
Oh, nice.
Get you one of those.
Nice. Also, in other horse news for the Rangers,
in other horse news.
Rangers are hiring a backup part-time mascot, according to TexasRangers.com/careers.
Nice. You got to check out that page, right?
Checking that out, seeing what's going on, because I've always wanted to pull the tarp, and I thought, well,
That'd
hey,
be
maybe there's somebody on the IR for that. Apparently, there's not, so I'm not going to be pulling the tarp this year. But guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Be checking us out. Engage with us on social media. Like our stuff. Comment. Subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to all the people at Overcast that are subscribing.
Yep.
Corey is telling me all about it. I look it up, and it's fucking amazing that you guys are along for the ride with us. As I was saying at the top of the show, Cold Beers and Curveballs is our Instagram and Facebook handle. Twitter is CB and CB Podcast until they will allow us to have more characters. But check us out there. We're also on Stitcher, iTunes, Google, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker. We're everywhere.
Pretty much. Also, in podcast news, Google. So you and I don't think we talked about it on air, but you and I have talked about how, like, if you just search on Google for Cold Beers and Curveballs or pretty much any podcast, if the podcast has their things right, on the back end, then it'll show up on Google. You can just click play from an episode, right?
Right.
And then Google had a little widget, so they would let you see the rest of the show. So it wasn't really a podcast app, but you could just search, and then through Google you could play podcasts, right?
Exactly.
But it's just not an app, and it's not really developed out. Well, they are taking steps. They did release a podcast app. It isn't a fully fledged app. It is simply, you can click the app, and that will take you beyond the search part of, you would just search it in Google search to get to the find your podcast result, click play in there. Well, now you can just click the podcast app, the Google Podcast. It is branded and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can go to there, and since I had already searched our shows, it popped up immediately, and it had our show up already on there. So you can search Cold Beers and Curveballs in the Google Podcast app or any of your others, and they'll pop up there too. It just it doesn't have a whole lot of functionality and stuff. You can't save episodes. I don't think you can subscribe, but you can play through there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps out, especially when you're at work and you have your browser up or whatever
Right.
like that. You can listen. We aren't suitable for probably not having your headphones on, just depending on how cool of a boss you have, or if you're
you
your
should
own
have
boss.
your headphones.
Right, yeah, so have your headphones. But check us out, guys, and also check out, if you are in the DFW area, Thursday nights, all the home games for the Frisco Rough Riders are Party at the Yard.
Yep.
$10 to get in. It's in the outfield. Or you can pay $29, all you can eat, and you float around in a lazy river. Corey and I will be out at most of those. At least one of us will be.
That's one next week, right?
Yeah, there's one coming out next week.
Today's Thursday, and I don't think it's a home
Yeah,
game.
it's not a home game. But next week it will be. Get your tickets. Come out and find us, and we can have a lot of fun together, and we can hang out and, get to know each other and talk some baseball. We met some really cool people out there. And, guys, if you are looking for, a date that's not on Tinder, there are quite a few ladies that are out there that are single and ready to mingle. But until next time, guys, keep drinking those beers. Keep drinking that, keep enjoying life. And until next time, we'll see you.
Have a good one.
Play me some songs about a rambling man. Put a cold one in my hand. 'Cause you know I love to hear those guitar sounds. But don't you play, I'm so lonesome I could cry. 'Cause I'll get all